for those of you that remember, for Status Coup OGers, and for those that have been watching over the last few weeks, I brought to you a story of a guy named Anthony Martino. For those that remember Anthony, unfortunately, his wife Sarah, who was 35, was terminally ill with aphaxia, or ataxia, which is a degenerative disease. She was incapacitated, and Anthony was her 24/7 caretaker for years, taking care of her and all that. And even though Anthony had a full-time job taking care of her, taking her to the bathroom, cleaning her, feeding her, they could only communicate by blinking. Full-time job. Because we live in the United Corporations of America, during the coronavirus pandemic, his landlord was trying to evict him. His parents were helping Anthony pay the rent because Anthony could not work. He was taking care of Sarah, his incapacitated wife, full-time. But because of coronavirus, his parents took a big financial hit and could no longer help Anthony with rent. So his degenerate landlord was trying to evict Anthony and his terminally ill, incapacitated wife. Just a quick reminder what the interview, what Anthony and Sarah's story was about.
Couple months, I've been basically quarantined for like almost 4 or 5 years because I can't really go that far. Yeah, that's why. So I got to be here constantly. My radius is basically an avenue one way and an avenue other way. So that's why I like here, is because I can walk down the block, grab something, come right back. With COVID, it makes it a little bit harder because running to the grocery store, there's a line now. So, it takes 45 minutes to get into the grocery store. But, I can't leave her for 45 minutes.
And what, other than the help you were getting from your parents, do you get disability, Medicaid? What are you surviving on?
Getting Social Security. And then we also had a rental house that was her father's from when he passed away. And the only reason that Sarah was able to get that is because her family had to fight her to make sure her mom didn't take it. One second. So yeah, we had that rental money coming in, but that rental money stopped. That was like $750 a month to help with everything, and then my parents would help with a little bit of the top. So, that stopped a couple months ago because they haven't been able to pay for the rental house. So, and it's a small house in Florida, but under Alabama, that part. 1 second. Baby, I'm right here. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to find some way to get something to the landlord so I could stay a couple extra months, so that way I have time to get out of here.
So for those of you who never saw that interview, if you're new, I'm highlighting it and putting it in the super chat if you'd like to watch the full thing. Anthony, during that interview, which was about 20 minutes long, had to get up 4 separate times because his wife was incapacitated and he tended to her 24/7. We highlighted it because Anthony, who is the 24/7 caretaker for his wife, was literally being threatened with eviction during a deadly pandemic. It's not easy to move an incapacitated, terminally ill woman. And Status Coup viewers came through. Anthony did a GoFundMe, and after we showed that story, Status Coup viewers, through just your sheer generosity and just really moves me, raised over $12,000 for Anthony. Even after raising over $12,000 for Anthony and Sarah so that he could avoid eviction, he owed several months on rent. The generous donations from you, the viewers, to Anthony more than covered his back pay for rent. His degenerate landlord still tried to push him and his wife out. including cutting off his plumbing and utilities. I got the sad news today that Sarah, Anthony's wife, has passed away at the age of 35. Anthony, with ataxia, which was her terminal illness, ataxia, which was her terminal illness, her father had it. He passed away at 40. So Anthony really, it's not the kind of thing you really know exactly when your loved one is going to pass, but he did not know she was about to die. And he was not with her when she died because he had to be at the apartment dealing with his scummy, scummy landlord. I'm not going to bother Anthony right now trying to get full details of who his landlord is or who the company is because his wife just died. And obviously he needs time to grieve. I tweeted about it from my Twitter. So you could check that out at Jordan Chariton. At a later date, I will speak with Anthony again, his landlord, and that landlord company. They'll be hearing from Status Coup. And, I did not know Sarah, his wife, who came down with this illness in her early 30s. And I don't know Anthony. I've never met him. I've just interviewed him, and then we direct messaged. On Twitter quite a bit. But I do want to share something that I hope makes Status Coup viewers feel good in this terrible moment for Anthony. And I feel for him. I didn't know Sarah, but I feel terrible. I sent my condolences, and I don't think he would mind me showing this, but he wrote, "Thanks, brother. You are one of the few in her life that fought for her. I was at the apartment packing stuff up and waiting for the super to come still fix the bathtub. I got a call from my mom who was with her. She told her that Anthony is coming, and she smiled and then passed away. So Anthony thanked Status Coup for fighting for her, but more importantly, you guys came through for him. Obviously, it did not end well with Sarah's passing. But I just want to point out that we focus so much on the Democratic Party and the Republican Party and the corruption in this country. But it is truly unconscionable. I understand we're in a pandemic. I understand landlords. Not all of them are degenerates, and a lot of them have bills to pay. It is unconscionable that in the richest country in the world, a landlord would try to push out a 24/7 caretaker for a terminally ill 35-year-old woman to the point of cutting their plumbing to force them out, even though through our GoFundMe, Anthony got the funds to pay a lot of rent, a lot of the rent he owed, to the point that as Anthony's trying to move his terminally ill wife, which you cannot do very quickly, his landlord is threatening to sue Anthony. I don't want to rush this, so I'm not going to name the landlord or the company, even though I have it, because I want to do my homework, and I'm going to reach out to this landlord out of fairness to get his comment. But this landlord is not the only landlord. He's with a corporation. And because this country is no longer a country, we live in the United Corporations of America, and because landlords and CEOs and corporations and politicians don't care if you're breathing, don't care if you can live, don't care if you have shelter, don't care if you have food, don't care if you have medicine. Anthony, in the final days and weeks of his wife's life, had to deal with this bull, excuse my French, a landlord cutting their plumbing, threatening lawsuits against him to force a 24/7 caretaker and his terminally ill 35-year-old wife out. That is disgusting. Donald Trump's not going to do a goddamn thing for the Anthonys of the world. Joe Biden is not going to do a goddamn thing for the Anthonys of the world. By the way, if we had a progressive in office, Anthony wouldn't be dealing with this because we would have something called Medicare for all, and Anthony wouldn't have had to be the sole caretaker for his terminally ill wife because Bernie's bill and Medicare for all provided for long-term care, which had provisions for home care. So I'm not going to name the landlord yet, and I'm not going to name his company because I want to do my homework. But I will say, Anthony's story is just one of many. I wish I could tell them all. And, I don't know when it started. I theorized in the 1980s with the Gordon Geckoization of America. Greed is good. Go get yours. But it's not going to matter who the president is until something psychologically changes in this country where humanity re-enters the building. I don't care if it's a pandemic. A landlord should not be trying to evict someone with a terminally ill wife who, by the way, raised nearly $13,000 thanks to you and offered to pay back pay. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.